Hello. I thought I would try something a little bit different today with this cornbread recipe that I'm going to share with you. It came about because I accidentally bought creamed corn when I went to the store. And I'm not really all that crazy about creamed corn. It's just not my thing as a plain side dish. So I went onto the internet and I started looking up things to do with creamed corn. And I came across a recipe for cornbread, which is not like a staple in my diet. It's just not. It's not even something I really think about making all that often. But I was like, well, I've got this creamed corn. I found this recipe for cornbread that involves creamed corn. And so that is how I decided to make this. And if you're interested, which I was, because of course the minute you go on Google you start going down a internet rabbit hole, I found out some facts about cornbread. I found out that it's considered a quick bread, and it's, you know, obviously made with cornmeal, and it originated, they think, with the Mayan people, or perhaps with the Hopi people down along the Mexican border. But I mean, you know, obviously if you know anything about U.S. history, you know that a lot of the staples of the Native American diet revolved around corn. And, you know, that's branched into tortillas and obviously quick breads and things like that. And I also found out that there are a lot of different types of cornbread. The one that I'm making today is sort of a blend of a southern and a northern cornbread. The southern cornbread tends to be a little bit drier and less sweet. Northern cornbreads are considered a little bit more cake or muffin-like, and they tend to be a little bit sweeter. And then there's also the separate branch of cornbread that's considered a Texas cornbread. And it's really bad because I've lived in Texas and I don't remember ever having cornbread in Texas. Maybe I did, I don't know. But it's often made with whole kernel corn or cream corn, and it can have jalapenos mixed in with it and then be topped with cheese. And I know a lot of people make cornbread with chili, but I'm not a really big chili eater. So I made this with a turkey noodle soup that I actually also used another can of the creamed corn in because, like I said, I accidentally grabbed it as I was shopping. I really should look at the cans a little bit more closely. I just saw the word corn and I grabbed several cans. So with that being said, we are about to go into the kitchen and make this cornbread, but I figured I would give you a quick rundown of what you will need to make this version of cornbread that I am making today. You will need a 12-inch cast iron skillet. Now, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can do this just in a baking dish, but it won't come out quite the same. But to that cast iron skillet, you need to add a tablespoon of oil, and then when you preheat your oven to 425, you are going to put that oiled up skillet into the oven while it preheats. Then you're going to need 2 boxes of Jiffy muffin mix, the corn muffin mix, 2 eggs, 1 can of creamed corn, any kind that you can find, a cup of buttermilk, and a ½ cup of melted butter. So let's get to it and see how this cornbread turns out. All right, so ingredients wise, you are going to need a can of creamed corn, a ½ cup of melted butter, a cup of buttermilk, or regular milk, but the recipe I found specifically calls for buttermilk, 2 eggs, and 2 boxes of Jiffy corn muffin mix. And then what you're going to do is take your 12-inch cast iron skillet and add about a tablespoon of oil and then we are going to turn the oven on to 425 degrees and put the skillet in while we get everything mixed up. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, 425, hit start, and put this pan into our oven and leave it to preheat. Alright, the oven has beeped. This pan is blazing hot. Thanks to a wonderful neighbor. I got an oven glove. She says that she wants me to keep baking for her. So now the goal is to pour this in and hopefully not sizzle too much. That's not bad. Now we are going to get this all poured into our pan, and then we are going to put it back into the oven for 25 to 35 minutes. I see why they said a 12-inch pan. This is a lot of cornbread. Alright, so oven mitt back on. Oh look, you can actually see it starting to cook around the edges because of the hot pan, which I guess is the whole point. You want like crispy edges on this thing. So we are going to put that back into the oven. Set the timer for, we're going to set it for 30, and then we will check it. So I will see you in 30 minutes. Alright, the oven has just beeped, and I think that actually looks really good. Hopefully it tastes really good. That's always sort of the proof is in the eating. But yeah, that was at 30 minutes. It said that you can go up to 5 minutes more, but it seems like it is definitely set in the middle and crispy around the edges. So the only thing left to do is get my soup ready and serve this up. So I will let you know how it tastes. Alright, moment of truth. Let's make sure this thing is actually cooked. Yep, definitely cooked through. Ah, it's stuck to the other piece. It looks pretty good. And I think it will go extremely well with the turkey noodle soup. So, a lunch fit for a peasant, probably. Anyway, I'm going to taste this. I will let you know how it is, and I'll get back to you in a bit. Alright, in case anybody is interested, I had the soup, I had the cornbread. It was pretty darn good. Like, I don't know that it's going to become a staple in what I make on a regular basis, at least not with the corn in it. The corn gives it, I think it made it more moist, the cream corn. And I did notice that most of the actual kernels sank to the bottom while it was cooking. So it gave it a really interesting little thing down there at the bottom. I do like doing it in the cast iron skillet. That was definitely, even if I don't do it with cream corn again, I think I'm going to make cornbread again that way in the cast iron skillet, because it gives you this absolutely wonderful little like crispy edges, and then the middle is kind of it is kind of cakey. I think this was definitely more of a northern cornbread. It wasn't overly sweet, but it wasn't like super bland. I would definitely be able to eat it cold, I think, tomorrow, which is good because I have a decent amount of it left. And yeah, it's it was pretty darn good. It went well with the soup. So if you're looking for a quick accompaniment, I mean, it took me, what, maybe 4 or 5 minutes to mix up the batter. about 8 minutes to preheat the oven and then 30 minutes to cook it. So if you're looking for a very quick side dish to serve with a soup or a stew or chili or anything like that, it definitely went well. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you with the next recipe. And let me know if you like the talking at the front and the back of it. I can't really see me trying food on camera, but I mean, maybe, but probably not, because eating on camera just seems really weird to me. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the cornbread recipe, and I will talk to you guys later.